So Iwuanyanwu was talking about what happened in Lagos. And I support the message 100% that all of you Olori Brukus that tarnish Yoruba image in Lagos, with all your tribal and then ethnic attacks on innocent people, even when you turned on your fellow Yorubas because they didn't speak Yoruba or they didn't look Yoruba enough, you shameless lots still want to turn to us and say, Iwuanyanwu insulted Yoruba. Ni kure o. But this is what Iwuanyanwu said. I will come back.
Lagos to know that on Wednesday, I called a meeting of Organizing Council of Elders worldwide, and we x-rayed the events in Lagos. And I want to tell you that we have people who attended the branches in America, in Canada, in Europe, in London, and Nigeria. We have resolved, and I want those from Lagos to go home and tell those in Lagos, we have resolved that never again can we allow anybody to take the life of any innocent Igbo person. All of us are going to fight the person. We are going to fight the person. Never again. We are in Nigeria and we have invested in Nigeria. Our investments are so much. We are not going to take the question of people telling us to go. We are not going anywhere. And I want to tell those in Lagos to realize that there is no war between us and Yorubas. Yorubas they're just political rascals, and we are going to handle them. The elders have directed Secretary General of Igbo, Emuche, to set up a commission of inquiry to find out things destroyed. People are going to pay. In Lagos to know.
The Yorubas are with us. We are not at war with Yorubas. What happened in Lagos? There are rascals. There are rascals. And some said that the video is doctored. It's like it's jumped and all that. Well, who cares? We heard him what he said. The Yorubas are with us. We are not at war with them. What happened in Lagos? There are rascals. And indeed, there are rascals. And you lori bruku abane loju. Some will look at me and say, you this Mayegun, you are this, you call me whatever you want to call me. You are going to live your life to realize this too. And you know something? It breaks heart so much that what you believe strongly, that's been a lie, if you live long enough, you live in that regret. And possibly a lot of people would have paid a lot of prices as well around you. And like I told you, the victims of yesterday, the survivors of yesterday are victims of today. You attacked people because of their political belief or because of where they come from. That's not Yoruba. That's un-Yoruba. That's rascal. And all of you, we now know, even in Yoruba land, you are not just a threat. Listen, you are not just threats to non-Yorubas. You are also threats to the real Yorubas as well. And guess what? We are going to fight back too. So you might have a lot to deal with than this. Nigeria will become a narco state the moment Kalu becomes your president. So get ready, okay? Sometimes last year, if you remember, Kalu as a presidential candidate, right? The news broke. NDLEA busts a house in Ikorodu and they discovered drug worth 198 billion naira. Billion, no, not million, no. $266 million worth of hard crack, cocaine in Ikorodu. For all of us who have watched narco films, narco series, when you are going for drug busts, you know how special police would dress, with sophisticated weapons, with all this, what do they call that thing? That you can see night vision, that night vision that you can, in the movie, they have this thing that everywhere will just look green, in the dark. You know that movie? You've seen some of them. And then when they get to the base before they get to the main production base, you have in the jungle, you would have seen a lot of people with guns, different machine guns, who are ready to defend the place. Then you'll be hearing bomb, bo, bo, bo. Okay, moving, ground floor, ground, move. Oh yeah, capture, surrender. I mean, clear. They will get to some place, say clear. They'll get to that place, say clear. Everybody coming, clear. That was what I expected in Ikorodu when Nigeria had its first biggest drug busts. $266 million worth of drug just waiting for NDLEA in Ikorodu. NDLEA, sorry, I have news for you. We have a drug base here in Ikorodu, the biggest drug in Nigeria. This and that. Suddenly found his way to Nigeria, and when he got to Nigeria, he found his way to Lagos, and he happened to be a state where the former drug lord, convicted drug and money launderer in America, has been holding sway. And NDLEA was like, okay, we are on our way. Some of you are asking, I just thought I should bring it back. So if you want to understand what a narco state is going to be like and how the rest of the world are going to actually see Nigeria, maybe this will actually ring some level of bells. How did they do this? Where are those guys now? What happened to the drugs? You know what happened? Immediately after they bust and the news broke, guess what happened? Kalu visited this man. The one on the right is Buba Marwa. That is the man in charge of NDLEA. The one on the left is the convicted drug dealer in America who has now become the INEC president-select of Nigeria. He was a candidate here, okay? Then NDLEA bust a place in Lagos State. And a day after this man visited him, a day after Tinubu visited Marwa, NDLEA destroyed the entire cocaine, the entire drug. They said they destroyed evidence. End of story. Okay. Sorry if I didn't add this one. I want to add one small jara. Sorry to disappoint you. You are not about to watch drug bust, okay? You are about to watch drug arrest. I don't know. Sorry, it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's go back to it. Now the biggest drug bust in Nigeria be this. Look at the area.
first and foremost, intelligence, well-coordinated, intelligence-led one, which was actually led by the chairman of the executive himself. Here, it's 1.855 tons of raw cocaine. We had some concealed or filled in these 10 buses, and the others shipped in those drums. I'm sure you can see the drums over there. This is the highest singular seizure of cocaine in the history of this agency. What you have here comes to over $278 million, which in street value, if you convert that to Nigerian naira, you are talking of over 194 billion naira. And the men you find behind there, they are members of an international syndicate that the agency has been on their trail since 2018. And just lo and behold, in a few days, by the grace of God, we were able to track them down to this building. This building, the man, please, I'm not talking to you. This building, it looks unoccupied, but then it's a warehouse for this international cartel. And we are glad that this has brought an end to the operation. That's the most we can take, except you want to.
Nigeria is so corrupt, which I regret the day I was born in this country. It's unfair. This is unfair now. This is unfair. Nigeria is.
Ah, God. Why do you brought me to this Nigeria? What is my sin? Kí lẹ ṣẹ̀ mi gangan? Kí ni ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mi tó fi dá mi sí Nigeria yìí? Ìkíní, èkejì, ẹ̀kẹta. Ah! Ó yẹ o.
The biggest drug bust in Nigeria happened in Ikorodu, and he was just waiting for them. Then, Iragbiji El Chapo, Iragbiji El Chapo visited the head of the drug agency. At the meeting, whether coincident or no coincident, or maybe it's and all that, they suddenly, without any court or anything, NDLEA, they burnt all of that cocaine. They burnt everything. And they celebrated it. NDLEA destroyed 194 billion naira street worth of cocaine that it busted a week ago without any investigation. They said the investigation continues. You know what the Buhari idiots, what they had to say? All these on-boot slaves, you know what they had to say? It's a good thing, because this Nigeria is so corrupt. If he didn't burn the old cocaine now, they will give the cocaine back to the people. I said, okay. You don't think they've given the cocaine back to the people? No, I trust Marwa. If Marwa says they have burned it, they have burned it. Noni. Really? Yeah, I trust Marwa. Okay. I trust you. Sure you get. That is Nigeria. That's how they fight crime. By burying evidence or destroying evidence, then pretend that they are doing something to combat crime. No, they are not. That is how Nigeria is going to become the narco states. Somebody said, how did that much drug enter Nigeria? You did ask me. Okay, now you know how government works, Abi. Yeah, that's how government works. Okay? Without the blessing of your government, how do I mean by your government? A corrupt system that employs corrupt people to do corrupt things by smuggling drug into the country to make more money, that won't be out of play, would it? That's what Nigeria has become. And it is going to be same everywhere. Tinubu as your president, all he needs is just to tell somebody to do that. Oh yeah, you go and do this. Corruption is legalized under APC. Don't be deceived. Okay? Corruption is not being fought under APC. It's legalized. You just need to choose which side you want to pay your own tithe to. When you get your own cut or share from the proceeds of their corruption, it's up to you. Now, I am going to say something here. Look at this man. This is Rishi Sunak. Richie is the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Although we didn't elect him, but he's the elected leader of his party, who is the ruling party as well, so which is the ruling party in the UK. By that arrangement, as leader of the Conservative, is the UK Prime Minister. Okay? Now, by the look you see here, and when I say UK, United Kingdom, who happened to be the former colonial master of where Richie's parents came from. Now, Richie, the son of immigrant, British, right, is the Prime Minister of the UK today because in a just society where you practice a system that is, you call, all-inclusive, the people like Richie, they know one thing. They are always welcome in the UK. Even though they are British, born here and raised here, right? Now, here, this is Richie Sunak, 47 or so, sorry, 45. Now, here is Hamza Yusuf. Hamza Yusuf is 37 years old. I've met with him. This is the representative of my own district here in Glasgow. This is my own MP. Sure you get. So as my own MP, just today, right, Yusuf got elected as the leader of the Scottish ruling party, SNP, Scottish Nationalist Party. Now, Yusuf is also a son of an immigrant, second or so generation in Scotland. Now, Scotland is so traditional. For everybody who knows Scotland very well, very traditional. They value a lot about tradition. But when it comes to public administration, once they say you are British or you are Scottish, of course you are Scottish. There are redheads, there are skinheads, there are some racist idiots, miseducated, even educated racists in the UK, including Scotland. But they have limitations. You know why? Because people who want an all-inclusive society, an egalitarian society, cosmopolitan city. Cosmopolitan means people come from everywhere to build it. But the real owners, the real indigenous people, it is to their own joy that they are also existing and respected in a just society where nobody has to say, look at this one, not even look like us. You get mine though. You get mine though. You won't be president for, I don't know if some of you actually knows that there are some Indians who are Nigerians. Do you know? Maybe I should start from there. For you to actually understand the xenophobic Nigeria, especially the xenophobic Yoruba nation that these rogues, miseducated and educated idiots are trying to birth in Nigeria. And why? We must never let that happen. Ever. The people who have narrow minds, I'm talking about short-sighted people. People who blame other people for their problems but themselves. We should not let those narrow-minded people define us as a people. I live in an advanced society. One way they came there just now and said that they would deal with me in Scotland simply because of what I said about Tinubu. Nobody would deal with me anywhere. Nobody. Nobody. No papa. Nobody's papa can do anything. If you do anything to me, you'll be committing a crime. Okay? And if you do anything that harms me, seriously, you will ruin your life forever. I can guarantee you of that. And I don't have to belong to any kind of major family in the UK or be in anything, so to say. But as a resident here in the UK, I am protected by all this, by the same rights that even the Scottish people have. And when I speak, except I break law, nobody, not even your grandfather, your forefathers in Nigeria, disjointed, backward country, will be able to do anything to me. Like, I can say that 1 million times, confidently, without any blah, 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 blah. No. That's the society I live. That's the society you should endeavor to live, not a narrow-minded, impoverished one, where everybody looks suspicious as the people who are doing you. You know, get work, now people, they do you. You know, get money, now people, they do you. Your life is miserable. Somebody is after you. You couldn't get a progress in your life. Some people are after you. If you are that kind of a person, of course, you will be easily sold. That the Igbos could be the reason why your Taye Fidaru finally. But what I'm trying to bring out here is this. And this message is also for some of you Ashiris who are also living abroad, sending these subtle, divisive rhetorics back to Nigeria. If you don't know that in that same your Nigeria, there are Pakistanis who are Nigerians. There are also British who are Nigerians. By the virtue of the fact that they were born there, they carry your green passport too. There are Indonesians. There are foreigners who are Nigerians too. And by the virtue of your disjointed, mismanaged country, do you know they have right to also run for office and vote and be voted for? Do you know that? Do you? Oh, you don't see many of them. Why would they come out and participate in war? You are not having elections in Nigeria. You are having war. So why would anybody want to be part of that? But by the virtue of them carrying your passport, by the virtue of being your citizen too, they can run for office anywhere. But they won't. Because they don't want somebody to start killing people that look like them. Simply because they thought they have a right to run. Sure you get? Now we have Richie. We have Yusuf. These two are descendants of immigrants. And by the virtue of their rights, they are leading the countries. They are leading Scotland. The one is leading in Scotland. The other is leading the entire UK. And it will be on record. And so far, so good. People are more interested in what they have to offer. But in Nigeria, the likes of Tinubu and gang, they would rather want you to pick up a wheelbarrow or turn to a terrorist so that they can do a graduation for you. I mean, terrorists are doing graduation in Nigeria, my people. Terrorists are doing this. 580 Boko Haram, repentant Boko Haram. Sorry, Richie is 42, by the way, not 45. I think I keep mixing that up. I wish he grows up faster. Anyway, 42. The guy is even 3 years older than me. Can you imagine? I am 2 years older than Yusuf. Can you believe that? And here, if I was born in the UK myself, probably I would have become, I mean, with this mentality, I probably would have become an MP in the Scottish Parliament. Sure you get? My son can become an MP in the UK now. My son can be whatever he wants to be, and nobody's going to say, sure you know be that Akinola, that Ijebu boy. From Ijebu, you want to come and be Prime Minister in the UK? Never in your life. But in Nigeria, they are graduating, they are doing graduation for terrorists. They said in the last 18 months, 51,000 of these terrorists who have murdered people in Nigeria, and they gave them uniform. Okay, all of this too, na job, you know. All this is just to show that they are doing something. Once they pay the money, these boys, excuse me, these boys won't see a dime. They won't see the money. The money goes straight to the hands of those who organize this. I will put them up for show, okay? This is what they do in Nigeria. They reward terrorists and they punish activists. So when election happens and people think they have a chance of redeeming themselves or fighting back, and they go out for an election and then they got rigged and you want them to keep quiet and keep short, I think you have no idea of what you are actually doing, I would say. Anyway, here is Obasanjo. I'm taking you back to Anambra. Sorry. He was talking about the Igbos who helped him during his government. And he was told that he shouldn't trust them. Okay? And he was talking about Igbophobia. Remember I told you about Igbophobia? Yeah, it's been there for a very long time, but they've been kind of hiding it until APC came. And APC just couldn't take it. They just have to expose that Igbophobia in them. And at the same time, like a contagion, right? Spread it like a virus. Obasanjo is not a saint. Shure has something for him. But let's hear him first.
Location. Soon after I appointed him, somebody came to me and said, wow, you have ruined the economy of Nigeria. I said, how? He said, an Igbo woman, Minister of Finance, an Igbo man, Governor of Central Bank. Then you have really completed the task of running the economy of Nigeria. Now, I don't know why he said that, except for what I can call Igbophobia. And don't take that lightly. It remains, it persists. And I like what Chief Iwuanyanwu said. I believe on the 13th of January, 1970, Biafra died and was buried. Actually, in the house of my friend here, Chief Simon Okeke in Amici. Is that correct? But when you have the type of thing that was said to me, and the type of thing that you know is going on, what I call, as I have just called it, what do we do with it? I believe.
Break up the country. They are still living in denial. You will never expect Obasanjo to say anything good in support of the peaceful breakup of Nigeria. He participated in that war. He is a hero of that war. They call him hero. He accepted the surrendering Biafrans back to Nigeria. So he sees himself as integral part of Nigeria, and in fact, denying the obvious makes people like him to continue to remember that glorious day that they crowned themselves after perpetuating genocide. Do you understand? They committed genocide. They killed innocent people in order for them to force them to remain part of Nigeria so that we can all see this shege. And to this day, to them, is dead. Yeah, Biafra is dead. Biafra is dead. Biafra is dead and all that. Oh, really? How could Biafra dead? when Nigeria will not even admit what they did. When the perpetrators, the people who participated in that program, that genocide, they went on to become rulers of Nigeria. They were rewarded handsomely, while the country dwindle and continue to tilter and then a breakup. So they will never admit it. Not somebody like Obasanjo. But you see, Sowore, as usual, he would never hold back when he's given that chance. What do you think, Sowore? Obasanjo? Speaking up, come on.
Yeah, I was reading a headline. Obasanjo is saying that Igbophobia in Nigeria. They have never seen Nigeria. This is a guy who went to the East and shot people dead because they wanted Biafra. Obasanjo killed. He was one of the officers that obtained the surrender of Biafrans. They were asking for a nation. Obasanjo and others, Danjuma, Buhari, Babangida, they went to the East and killed people, Murtala, and killed people up to 3.5 million people. They did not even apologize for it. And some, maybe 60 years later, you are saying that you suddenly found out that people hate Igbos. When you, in Nigeria's uniform, went and killed children, women, men, boys, who are of Igbo extraction.
But the way you describe it is a bit more grievous and
what is grievous? What is more grievous than war?
No, it might not be exactly the way you're pointing it.
Yes.
There are war scenarios, civil war scenarios that happened. There was a strife.
No, what I'm saying is that this is part of history.
When you isolate individuals,
do you know why I brought the Obasanjo thing out? Because I was reading that I was really livid that he suddenly found out that there's Igbophobia. When the Nigerian army carried out a pogrom, carried out massacre of Igbos, and because he wants to play on the intelligence and emotions of Igbos, you will be clapping for him. Oh, Obasanjo is now our human rights defender. Oh, see, he's fighting for Igbo. I have never seen anybody amongst Nigerians that have probably killed more Igbos than Obasanjo. They kill people at the Civil War.
You don't have evidence to that.
What are you talking about? That you don't have evidence of soldiers killing people in Biafra?
But when you name someone as
Obasanjo was the third commando now. Yeah. He took over from Benjamin Adekunle. Go and read history. He wrote it even in his own books.
But
are you saying that they didn't kill people? They didn't kill Igbos during the Civil War?
I'm not rewriting history, but I'm saying pointing one individual and mentioning his name.
No, but it's not about mentioning. He has a title. He was a military man. He was in the military. They killed people. What do I need to tell you again? I'm just saying that Nigeria did not start falling apart. Here.
Sheung, they don't call you Sheung Egbegbe now. Because people are now saying that whenever Sheung sees fraudster Soto Bokeyamo, or he sees Dele Alakori, or he sees Ezibida Bayo Ononuga, what's that third one? Or for Food Kayode, Sheung will become a jelly pussycat. Now them go come they control his interview, but when it's with other people, Sheung will become, excuse me, sorry, and all of that stuff. Now then Sheung they talk. So the people are now calling him Sheung Egbegbe. She Sowore lie. Of course. A lot of Igbos will see Obasanjo as their friend because he's on their side now. But Obasanjo has no friend. Obasanjo has himself. And over time, he contributed. He had two chances. Let me tell you the first one. After the program, after the Nigeria genocidal war, where over 5 million people were killed. And guess what? These 5 million people were not killed in the war front. Nobody say Nigerian soldiers, now them strong, that reach that. So every time you heard about they kill 5 million Igbos, nobody say Nigerian soldiers, now them strong, that reach to go and kill 5 million. The Igbos, without a similar weapon like Nigeria, they were able to hold Nigeria for 3 straight years until Nigeria implemented a blockade. A blockade that historically was reported as an idea of Awolowo. That blockade is, how could you be fighting war with people and allowing food to get to them? Just block everywhere and stop anybody who is trying to take any aid to them. You see, whenever there is war all over the world, there's always a place called the safe zone. That safe zone is for where civilians are expected to escape to. That area, the two sides fighting the war, they will not touch that area. Once you begin to touch that area, that's violation of the United Nations Convention, War Convention. Sure, you get civilians must be protected by all sides. So for 3 straight years, the Biafran held Nigeria, almighty Nigeria. They were being killed and they were slaughtering Nigerian soldiers too. Until that blockade was effected. Although by the time they were effected the blockade, Awolowo was no longer the finance commissioner, but he was still on record that he gave them that idea. So when people were unable to feed children, women who were supposed to be in safe zones, they started getting affected. I mean, they started getting the effect of that war, which means Nigeria introduced unconventional means to slaughter women and children, and they have no any kind of remorse till this day, right? To even apologize, pay restitution, and indeed show that there is no longer war between Nigerians and Igbo anymore. They couldn't do that. They can just rub it on you and say, we are all one. We are not fighting again. But do you know what happened? Obasanjo had a chance. In 1976, they have slaughtered the genocidist. At the time, they've just assassinated the genocidist, Muritala, the murderer. He was slaughtered like a common criminal in a traffic in Lagos by another soldier. He was killed like a common criminal that he was, a genocidist, Muritala. That was how Obasanjo became the commander-in-chief of Nigeria and the president, so to say, like the head of state. Head of state. At that time, Obasanjo had a chance to set Nigeria on the path towards real unity, respect, and then prosperity, including safety. They said they wanted to conduct election. They conducted an election. Shagari, grade 2 teacher, became the favorite of Obasanjo's military ruling council. Shagari, who had nothing to offer, a corrupt Shagari, was brought in. Okay. Now, so the corruption started. Do you know that the first terrorist group in Nigeria, okay, let me put it this way. When Shagari came in, they started looting, like say, I'm going to read the history. You see, today, you can say, second Niger bridge, they have spent so billion. Abi, they are looting. The Lagos Ibadan Expressway, they have been repairing and repairing, they have been looting. During Shagari time, money were missing and no traces. Can you believe it? Like, a minister will come and say, we heard that 50 million naira is missing from your ministry. Is that true? And the minister will come out and say, yes, it is true. What happened to the money? We don't know. It just disappeared. That was the level of corruption of Shagari. Government were unable to pay salaries. Sure you get. And people started resorting into doing whatever they can just to survive. It all started though in 1979 when Obasanjo handed over to Shagari. The corruption was so bad that people were selling their children for food. Go and read the history. Shagari, they will tell you Shagari is one of the leaders of Nigeria, a criminal. Shagari children, they are throwing the name about everywhere. Shagari grandson, Shagari granddaughter. We are Shagari family, Abacha family, bunch of criminals. It was so bad that Nigeria got its first terrorist organization, Matatesin, in 1980. By then, it became so easy for a ragtag Islamic sect in Kano that usually just do, ragtag sect became so big because people were poor, hungry, and whoever could give them anything, they would do whatever they want them to do. That was how they started recruiting young northerners, brainwashing them, and using bows and arrows, cutlass and sword, carrying out terrorism. They were deadly. Nigeria was gone. Then they did the election in 1983. Having tasted blood, they rigged themselves in again. That was when Boko Haram came and also became the first person in Nigeria history to overthrow a democratically elected government in Nigeria. But 30 years after that, 2015, the same Nigeria rewarded Boko Haram with a democratic country to come and be the president. So Nigeria is impossible, unreal. The heroes past that they call heroes. These are a bunch of criminals. Go and read your history. If you come across any of them. You don't have respect for elders, Mayegun. That's why I don't like you. Who are you saying that? Respect our heroes past. Your criminals past. They are criminals. They are not anybody's heroes. Nigeria has no hero in your political criminal leaders, past and present, dead or alive. Tell yourself this truth. Once you begin to live that truth, it will be easier for you to confront it and say, this is wrong. Okay, it is wrong then. I'm not going to repeat it. Those who fail to learn from history are bound to repeat it. And guess what? It's always the bad side of that history that you fail to learn from. They always replay itself. Biafra is dead. Biafra is dead. In whose mouth? The people that killed 5 million Biafrans? Just to turn around 50 years later to say Biafra is dead. Biafra is dead. Meanwhile, the things that led to Biafra or the Biafra war, they are even more prevalent today. They even exist more today than they were back then. How then do you just turn around and say, let us be united, let us come together for the sake of unity and come on. I mean, let's start from telling ourselves the truth, though. I'll take you back to that Abuja, where the Tinubu people, they haven't learned anything. And like I told you that they have mostly relocated to Abuja, waiting for May 29 before they will unleash the real terror. And they are living everywhere, every abandoned building in Abuja right now. Go there with your phone. You will see APC members there. You will see some of them from Lagos. Go Abuja now. Uncompleted building there, you can see. Go some of those places. You will see them there. Now then win election. They are squatters in Abuja, waiting for their Lord and Savior to come in. Go to Abuja. See this.
Assalamu alaikum Jamal. Ramadan Karim. Today we are not here to counter any protest. We are simply here to cut down to inauguration. This is the 63rd day before the D-Day. So this party, this enjoyment, this countdown will continue from now till the D-Day by the grace of God. We know that some people are grumbling. They say they are not happy with the outcome of the result. We are not saying they should be happy by force. We are simply telling them to follow the path of honor. The path of honor is the path that has been described by the Constitution if we are not happy. If we are not happy,
I told you. Shebi you think say Bokwari is sort of a tribal or ethnic jingoist. Abi? Una go see film for Abuja. Here you get everywhere for inside that you go see film. You will see why Lagosians are hoping that someday, one day, they will have that strength enough to get rid of Kolu and his thugs. They have old women who are thugs. They have old men who are thugs. They have young men and women who are thugs. All of them, they are different categories of thugs. I want ya be, I want mama be, I want baba be. They are relocating to Abuja. Una go witness the real Agbero live. But because it is Nigeria, I will be here to report the old clashes. The one that I'm not really happy about is this. Still talking about Nigeria. Look at this young boy. This young boy is Kamsi. Okay? And if I take this cover off and you look below his image, you will see the Nigerian security brutalizing a boy, harassing a boy, and in fact, threatening a young boy with a gun. His mom was beaten. His dad, or somebody that looks like an elderly man, was also beaten. When these guys from Nigeria came, Nigerian security came for this boy. And do you know what his offense is? Kamsi. He was seen in a video where he was demanding for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. A young boy, this young boy can't be probably more than a 12, or 13, or less, right? The Nigerian security force in Eastern Nigeria. Now, this is just an example of what they are doing to the people of Eastern Nigeria right now. They've been doing that for the past 7 years. A lot have been killed. A lot have been, made disappear. I am talking about an existential state-sponsored profiling. All their crime is because they are Igbos. A young boy did a video, and they sent the military and this civil defense and their men with guns to go and kidnap him. So they took him. His parents have no idea where he is now. The people from his community have no clue where they have kept him. A young boy facing this kind of harsh life, a young man that is now going to know that the police, the military, the security agents generally in Nigeria, they are not there to protect him as a child. He is going to see them as the potential death lurking around him, and would work to make sure he doesn't grow old to fulfill his own dream and potential. Guess what his crime is? Because he's Igbo. They don't want us to say that. Why would you say that? Don't say that. Do you know what he did? What could a little boy do? I don't want to share that video with you. You will be hungered. You will be raging. And it is actually probably even the softest you're going to see of all the atrocities these guys are committing. If Nigeria can't be together, which we know it can't we go our separate ways? Can't we have these charts? Can't we be humans and treat ourselves as humans? There's just so many questions, right? Things that breaks hearts. Things that tells you that what Mayegun is saying is true. If you are alive today, you are a survivor. But guess what? Those who didn't make it yesterday, they are victims. You made it, right? That makes you a potential victim as well. And being a potential victim, the survivors of yesterday, you can be the victim of today. And if you survive today, you may not survive tomorrow. Until it gets to your turn. Don't pretend that this is not happening. They are happening. And people like us won't stop talking about it. I'll leave you to your conscience. And I'm going to say good night to all of you. So if you are still here, before you go, kindly remember something. If for some reason, an Igbo man is elected the governor of Ekiti, a Yoruba man is elected the governor of Sokoto, an Hausa man has just been elected as the governor of Anambra, just like what you have seen everywhere. Maybe then you can say you have a country. It's not going to happen. Not because it's not good, but because the foundation, the faulty foundation, that doesn't give room for nation building or anything, we continue to say, if an Igbo man, what is Igbo Ronu? Sorry, give me, what is Igbo Ronu in Igbo? Igbo think. What do you say? Igbo think, oh, Igbo bu Igbo, or what? Igbo think, oh, Yoruba Ronu, Yoruba think, oh. I don't know what is Hausa Ronu or Fulani Ronu. If for any reason, this happened in Nigeria or in Lagos, everywhere right now, what you are going to be seeing is, Yoruba Ronu o, Yoruba Ronu o, Yoruba Ronu o, Igbo bu Igbo, or what have you. Okay, sorry, somebody didn't type that right. Tell me that's right. Chich, what's that? Chicheji? No, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, thank you for your time. And please, be good, be nice, be human, be honest, and be sincere. It won't kill you. It may actually save you. Being honest about what you see. Do not let all this their propaganda get into your head. At the end of the day, what you're actually doing is that you are helping them or sustaining their vile and hateful industry. Please be honest. Be human. Igbo che chiche. I don't know if I pronounce that. Igbo che chiche. Igbo chiche. I'm sorry. Chie chiche. Chie chiche. Igbo chie chiche. Igbo chie chiche. It doesn't matter. Before I start speaking nonsense, because I might actually already be speaking nonsense. But you get what I mean? If that should happen in Igbo land, you go down they shout, Undi Igbo chenu uche o. Undi Igbo chenu uche o, think o. If a Fulani man become governor of Enugu or an Igbo man become governor of Lagos, Yoruba Ronu. But none of this Ronu or no Ronu has anything to do with Yoruba, Igbo, if you think it very well. If they care about us, we shouldn't be fighting ourselves based on how much of eagerness we have to kill ourselves. We should actually be having a healthy competition. Nigeria won't give us that. And You shouldn't settle for less as well. Don't lie to yourself. Don't let their propaganda get into your head. You get why. Thank you and good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun Diary, Diary Politico.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Mayegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bí Presido bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.